Well, hello there. It's me, Terry. Welcome to part 6 of my 60 lessons I've learned in 60 years. And today, I saved for the finale my top 10 things, the important things about self-consideration. Now, everyone loves to talk about self-care, but I like to talk about self-consideration because that's really the thing that is missing. So what do I consider self-consideration? It's where emotional, physical, psychological, mental wellness. What are the things that we do for those things? Besides the obvious, like getting into therapy if you need to, but there's other daily living things, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. The first is having good boundaries, right? Like stop acting against your own best interest to please others. Really stop before you commit to anything and think about, is this what I want to do? Or am I self-abandoning to please someone else? Boundaries are really good. Like, it's not just about saying no, because it can also be about setting limits. It can also be about dialing into your own reality instead of being so dialed into what that other person wants, being that dialed into what you want, you know? Number 2, mindfulness. So when I say mindfulness, what do I mean? I mean, slow the book down, get some meditation in your life, get some breathing in your life. I mean, there's so many amazing apps out there that can make it so easy. I'm on Insight Timer. You got Samantha Skelly's app, the Breathe app, which is amazing. I'll put links in the text to this. But you know this. You don't need me to tell you this. It's just a matter of actually doing it. Another thing that is a major part of my self-consideration is my energy work. I do daily energy work, all of it from one of my closest friends, Lara Riggio, who is just so incredibly talented. And she is someone who is in, her work is in all of my courses, because we can't just do the stuff here. We have to do the whole thing. Right. As my pal Chris Carr would say, sometimes you get issues in your tissues. And this is where energy work comes in. I sometimes call my friend Energy Lara, but she's an energy medicine expert and trainer. And her work is life-changing. So again, I didn't just say meditation because there's so much more that you can do. Not that you have to do, but choose, right? And get into it. Number 3, I really want you to curate the out of your VIP section, right? Not everyone belongs in your VIP section. So what is that? I want you to think about your life. And your VIP section is the people who have a lot of access to you, just like a VIP section in a club. But the part here that you've got to get is that you make the guest list and you're the only bouncer. So if you don't make a guest list and if you don't curate the VIP section, everyone thinks they're your best friend. Everyone feels entitled to your sunshine, your time, your energy, your money, whatever it is. So we got to get really real about who should be there, because some people, even if they're related to you, they belong in the mezzanine or the nosebleed section. And that's okay. That doesn't mean we can love people and not give them unfettered access to our most tender hearts. That's all I'm saying. Number 4, rest. That's not the same as sleep, right? I talked about sleep when I was talking about health. Allow yourself to rest. Do things that are nourishing to you. Get off the productivity mania. Get off it. Sometimes staying in bed with your person for 4 hours on a Sunday morning is really productive because it's important. So I think that we really have to move away from productivity as this goal. I was interviewing Kara the other day. She's got a podcast, Unfuck Your Mind, and she's got a new book coming out. Just wonderful. I'm going to get her last name wrong, though. It's like Lowenfeel, I think. Kara is her name. Anyway, she was talking about the myth of productivity and how productivity isn't even like we see, like I wasn't productive. And it's like, think about what that really means. Are you supposed to be producing something every moment of every day? And the answer is no, you're not. So really renegotiate your relationship to rest and nourishing yourself and see it for what it is, because a well-rested brain works better. A well-nourished soul is satisfied, is happy. This hamster wheel thing, it's just tired. It doesn't work, and you can't do it forever. Trust me. Trust your elders, would you? All right. Number 5, prioritize your preferences all the time. Negotiate for them all the time. Stop taking one for the team unnecessarily. Stop thinking that your preferences are a burden to someone else. There's no being the easy breezy cool girl is not cool. And here's the thing about when you prioritize your preferences in big and small ways, life becomes so much more satisfying and pleasurable just by knowing what you like, what you would prefer. Stop saying it doesn't matter. It matters. Your preferences matter. They really do. And you're signaling to the universe and to yourself that you matter when you prioritize your preferences. This doesn't mean we don't compromise, right? All of my people pleasers are like, but I don't want to be selfish. You're not. I promise you. It's always the people who are never selfish, who are worried about being perceived as selfish, and the selfish mother effers who never even think about it, don't even care. They're like, this is how it is. Yeah, it's all about me. Great. So prioritizing your preferences is not being selfish. But I really want to inspire you to do it because it's life-changing when you do. Number 7. Do I need to tell you about gratitude? I felt compelled to put it on the list because that's how important it is. But you know this. And when I'm talking about gratitude, I'm talking about active gratitude. Every night, Vic and I talk about what we're grateful for the day. What was our favorite frame of the day? What went well? Right? One of my pals, Dr. Daniel Amen, he talks about his nighttime routine as thinking about what really went well today. And Vic and I have adopted that as well. It's really great because you know what? It's so pedestrian and easy to point out what didn't go well, right? Because we have our negativity bias, which makes us 5 times more likely to remember what didn't go well than we are to remember what did go well. But if we want more things to go well, we need to focus our attention on them. So gratitude, active gratitude, even in the shittiest of situations. And I'm not talking about bypassing. I'm talking about there is literally always something to be grateful for, especially if you live in the US or North America. Right? Like Europe, there's always something to be grateful for. So gratitude is important. Number 8, spend time outdoors. If you can, you got to do it. It's so important. If you live somewhere where there's grass and trees, get your feet when there's not snow on the ground, like there still is here for some effing reason, but get your feet in the grass, hug a tree for real. Walk, spend time outside. Look at the clouds. Remember when you were a kid? Would throw blankets down or just lay on the grass and look at the clouds and look at the shapes and be like, wow. Like be in awe of whatever beauty you have around you. Be in awe of that beauty and give yourself a chance to be outside because it is so grounding and it is so good for our nervous systems, but it's just good for your soul to be in nature. I love living in the country so much. I love having chickens and geese and a dog and reasons to be outside because it's constantly makes me feel grateful and in awe of nature. Just the sunsets, the sunrises, all of it. But you got to slow down, right? Spending time outdoors, yes, but you got to slow down enough to see it. Number 9, play. What I want to say is have fun for fuck's sake. Like literally, have fun. Everything doesn't have to be productive. Just do something simply because it feels good. Swing on a swing. Play tag with kids. Have fun. Go to an amusement park. Go on a roller coaster if that's fun to you. Whatever it is that's fun to you. But I find that as I got older and became more of a workaholic before I undid quite a bit of that, I was always like constantly wanting to be multitasking. Yes, we can have fun and I can get my 10,000 steps in and I can there was always like this end because just having fun, that wasn't like enough of a reason to do it, but it is now. So have fun for sake, as I like to say. And number 10, really probably one of the most important ones, is having emotional mastery, a deep knowing of yourself, of your experiences, your triggers. Understand what are the things that activate you and why. Learn to self-soothe, right? We talk in the nourishing part, that also means self-soothing. Knowing how to talk yourself down when you get activated. Being aware of why you respond. I mean, ultimately, Deepak Chopra talks about like the ultimate evolution being that we become observers of ourselves without judgment. And if you can do that in this life, there is so much information to be garnered by looking at your interactions and being like, wow, I was so pissed about, like, what happened? Why was I so mad about that? Oh, what does that remind me of? Becoming the observer without judgment is sort of how, or one of the ways that I came up with the 3 cues for clarity, that when we're having a transference or we're activated, we're triggered, the 3 cues. Who does this person remind me of right now? Where have I felt like this before? And how is this behavioral dynamic, the way we're interacting, how is that familiar to me? Because a lot of times that can lead you, can be a GPS to an earlier injury. And we can go, oh, and when we start to go, oh my God, I reacted that way to that person because they remind me of my punitive mother. You stop reacting that way to that person because you consciously now realize they're not your punitive mother. And maybe they are punitive and maybe they're a jerk. But if your reaction, if you're triggered, that's 100% about you, as Dr. Cheval would tell you. Anyway, I hope that these 10 things of self-consideration, so I want to popularize this idea of self-consideration. I write about it in my book that's coming out in October, because it's self-care just doesn't do it. It doesn't cover it. So these are my top 10 most important self-consideration tips for you. And this will end my 60 lessons I've learned in 60 years of being alive on planet Earth series. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything you would add to this. And if you enjoyed the series, because I'll do more like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.